Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to chemistry class with chapter 10 acid bases and salts. Today topic under discussions are neutralization reaction, its definition, example, application, salt definition, types of salts and method of making salts. Let us discuss these topics one by one. First comes neutralization. What is neutralization? Neutralization is a reaction between acid and base to produce salt and water. General equation for neutralization is acid plus base gives you salt plus water. Actually, in neutralization reaction, when acid and base reacts, the products are salt and water. Salts are ionic compounds that consist of anion from an acid and cation from a base. Like HCl react with NaOH to gives you NaCl plus water. This sodium ion comes from base, that is a cation, and this chloride part, that is anionic part of the salt, comes from acid. In the next example, sulfuric acid react with NaOH to gives you sodium sulfate plus water. Again, sodium comes from base and sulfate, that is an ionic part, comes from acid. And same in the next example. Now, predict the product in these reactions. These reactions are neutralization reactions. Nitric acid react with calcium hydroxide. What will be the product? Product are calcium nitrate. In the next reaction, sulfuric acid react with barium hydroxide. The product is barium sulfate plus water. In the next example, HCl react with KOH. The product will be KCl and water. What are the applications of neutralization reactions? You have often experienced insect bite. These insect bites are very painful. In fact, these insect stings have acidic or basic nature. Like bee insect are acidic and can be neutralized by applying baking soda, which is actually a base. So neutralization reaction occurs and a human get relief. Wasp string is alkaline and can be neutralized by using vinegar. Next is indigestion. Our stomach carries a lot of carries around hydrochloric acid. If that hydrochloric acid concentration increases in our stomach, it leads to indigestion, which is commonly known as stomach acidity. To cure this stomach acidity, we have to neutralize this excess acid by using any medicine which contain basic group or basic nature, like baking soda or any medicine which is basic in nature. These medicines are regarded as indigestion tablets or antacid medicines. Definition of acid. Acid is basically ionic compound in which hydrogen of the acid is partially or completely replaced by metal ion or ammonia ion. Salt is chemically and electrically neutral. You people have studied it in the previous topic well. It is just a revision. This is nitric acid. In this, hydrogen ion can be replaced by metal ion, that is sodium, and the product is sodium nitrate. Ammonium is a metal ion that replaces this hydrogen to form ammonium nitrate, which is a salt. In the same way, aluminium replaces hydrogen ion from acid to gives you salt named aluminium nitrate. Calcium ions replace this hydrogen and forms calcium nitrate, which is a salt. Now come towards types of salts. There are three main types of salts: normal salts, acidic salts, and basic salts. Let us discuss these types one by one. Normal salts. Normal salts are formed when hydrogen ions in the acids are completely replaced by metal ion, and your salt have no hydrogen ion or hydroxide ion in its formula. These normal salts are neutral to liquid paper and have pH around 7. Examples are HCl react with base NaOH to give you salts NaCl plus water. In this HCl, there is only one replaceable hydrogen ion which is completely replaced by sodium ions, and the product is NaCl. In this salt, there is no hydrogen or hydroxide ion, so it is normal salt. In the same way, sulfuric acid reacts with zinc oxide to give you zinc sulfate. Again, in this formula, there is no hydrogen or hydroxide ions, so it is a normal salt. Example of normal salts are carbonic acid gives you a salt type carbonates, and the examples are sodium carbonate. Here, in this sodium carbonate, there is no hydrogen or hydroxide ion. These two hydrogens are replaced completely by sodium ion, so it is normal salt. In the same way, sodium sulfate. Next is ethanoic acid gives you salt type ethanoates, and the examples are sodium ethanoates. This hydrogen is replaceable. This hydrogen is replaced by sodium and gives you sodium ethanoate. These hydrogens are part of the formula and they are not replaceable. In the next example, HCl gives you salt type chlorides, and in this normal salt KCl is produced. In the same way, KNO3. The next are acid salts. Acid salts are formed when replaceable hydrogen ion in acids are partially replaced. That is, your salt produced contain hydrogen ion in its formula, like KHSO4, in which this salt contains hydrogen ion that show it is an acid salt. In the same way, H3PO4 has 3 hydrogen ion in its formula, which which is replaced by 1 sodium ion, and the product is NaH2PO4. Now this is acid salt as it has 2 hydrogen ions. In the next step, when excess of base is used, 1 more hydrogen ion is replaced and the product is Na2HPO4. Still, it is an acid salt as it has 1 hydrogen ion in its formula. These acid salts turn blue litmus red. If these acid salts are replaced, if these acid salts are reacted with KOH in excess, these acid salts are converted into normal salts. That is, all these hydrogen ions are replaced. In this way, acid salts can be converted into normal salts. Examples of acid salts. First is carbonic acid, in which type of acid form is hydrogen carbonate, and example are sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3. Only 1 hydrogen is replaced. And same in sulfuric acid, the product is potassium hydrogen sulfate, in which only 1 hydrogen is replaced. Next comes basic salt. Basic salts are the types of salts in which hydroxide ions are a part of acid formula. Actually, these basic salts are produced due to insufficient supply of acid or during complete neutralization reaction. Basic salt turn red litmus blue and will react with excess acid to form normal salts. Examples are zinc hydroxide react with HCl to gives you zinc with OH and Cl. This OH group in this acid in this salts explains that it is basic salt. This basic salt react with excess of HCl to gives you zinc chloride plus water. This zinc chloride is normal salt as it contains no hydrogen or hydroxide ion in its formula. In the same way, magnesium hydroxide reacts with nitric acid to gives you a basic salt. This basic salts again react with excess of nitric acid to gives you a normal salt. In this way, we can convert basic salts into normal salts. Next is method of making salts. There are 5 methods from which salts can be produced. First is when acid react with metal, when acid react with base, when acid react with carbonate, when acid react with metal oxide. Here is typing mistake, it is metal oxide. And then is the direct combination in which two salts react together to produce a new salt. Let us discuss these methods one by one. First method is acid and metal react to form salts and hydrogen gas. This method is not suitable for making salts of metals above magnesium or below iron because of their reactivity. Second is acid and metal oxide. When acid react with metal oxide, they gives you a salt. This method is useful for making salts of less reactive metals like lead and copper. Third method is when acid react with metal carbonates, the product will be salt, water and carbon dioxide. This method is useful for making salts of more reactive metals. Next method is acid plus alkali. This is useful method for making salts of reactive metals. It is different from 1 to 3 method as both reactants are in solution form and it is a type of neutralization reaction and you have studied it before. NaOH react with HCl to gives you a salt NaCl. Ammonium hydroxide react with sulfuric acid to gives you ammonium sulfate. Last method is salt plus salt gives you 2 more salts like silver nitrate, which is a salt, react with NaCl, which is again a salt, and the product is silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. Here, silver comes from silver nitrate, which is a salt, and chloride comes from NaCl, which is again a salt. Another example is NaCl plus Kf gives you NaF plus KCl. In this, NaF and KCl are again types of salts which have been produced by salts NaCl and Kf. This is end of our lecture. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you and have a nice day.